Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for The Amazing Spider-Man issue 16, 2025. Ooh, Plague RX prescribes pain. And we do learn about what kind of goes on with that in here. So let us crack into this, since we are pretty much doing Norman and Ben in this issue. New York City. Dawn comes to a city that does not sleep. Peter Parker's apartment. Yawn. What's up? Aunt May's apartment. Apologies for the random text, but I've been thinking about you and wanted to reach out. Tombstone's mansion. There was an understanding between us. And it's like, okay. It is kind of cool that it's like, okay, who's on the ceiling there? A secret lab in Midtown. We had a deal. You broke it. And we get some weird stuff of like Norman and a spider in here, so we'll have to see what kind of goes on with that. Sorry, it's nothing. You're stressing so hard I can hear it in my dreams. Don't lie. ... I know that we've hardly the best of friends, but we need to do something. I need to do something. Something's wrong with him. Hate that this is on my mind, but I can't let it hang anymore. We don't care what you do with your time, unless you do it wearing those colors or our symbol. As we see Norman looking at the Spidey, he's like, okay. So everybody's like, what the fuck's going on with Spider-Man/Peter? Of all the people he could have picked, why him? Maybe he didn't, Ben. Maybe it just happened. He asked me to be Spider-Man last time, and this time you're sleeping in his bed, spending his money, doing his work. It's like, yeah, he really didn't have time to, like, deal with that. You don't owe me anything, May, but I thought that perhaps if you have the time, you could provide me with insight as to what the hell's going through that boy's mind. I owe him that much. Fuck, as that is, I owe him. The other spiders and I are giving you the benefit of the doubt because he asked us to. The bill has come due. But you're not Spider-Man, Mr. Osborn. And we still see the spider. It's like, what the fuck's got going on here? His work. What's it going to take for you to let go, Ben? You're right, Janine. 100%. I'm going to wrap a few things up and we're done. Whatever you decide, I hope you're well. Best, JJJ. I know I'm not supposed to sign text, but old dogs. How would you like to meet my 60-year-old stepson today? What? You're a man of honor, boss. It's cool. I appreciate your loyalty and your sacrifice. We settle up today. Sounds like a plan. Please stop, or we're going to have to make you stop. As we see Norman putting on the spider suit. It's like, okie dokie, let's kind of see what goes on here. I do like the traditional paneling, and then just some good old Spidey action. I've discovered an irritating habit. I lie to myself about the things I desire. A good therapist would blame it on a childhood where vulnerability was a sign of weakness. I told my wife that I wanted a child when I wanted a little clone. When I became the Goblin, I told myself that it was a way to accelerate a rise to power when I really wanted to terrify and hurt anyone who stood in my way. When I put on this costume, his skin, I told myself it was to protect his dream. I don't know what Peter's dream is, not really. I could have fought off the Spider Slayer robot as myself. It's no secret that the formula made me the Goblin continues to make me strong and agile. There were people in harm's way, and no one has ever seen me appear in my fine suit and thought, thank goodness, Norman Osborn is here. Norman Man, doing what a Norman Man can. Spider-Man is hope. They needed Spider-Man. That they did. As we see him helping people out, webbing up this elevator. I want my friend to be well. I want Peter to come home from wherever he is. But I need Spider-Man too. As he's like, shit. God help me, that is the truth. That's pretty interesting to see there. So he gets everybody back in, and then we get to Rand Enterprises. Before we start, I know, I suck. Boldly sucking like no man has sucked before. But after my 15th energy drink last night, I thought I saw God, and then had a novel thought for the genetic coding of the intracellular wall. Katagata, which sounds like a cat with a gun instead of gaga gaga gaga, which sounds like vomiting. Ironically, I then vomited and fell asleep. Maybe that's not the definition of ironic. I suck. That's the load issue, correct? And heat dispersion. The extra RNA package will draw energy across cell walls without damage. Are you fucking with me? I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. If your myceteria should work. It works, it works, it works! I said should. Heck, congrats, boys. It's like, okie dokie. And I'm just feeling like completely out of it. It's like, alright, Brian. Freaking did it, Brian. I'm sorry it took so long. Screw that. You did it. I did it. We did it. I'm gonna go cry in the closet for a minute, and then we'll call Dr. O.M. Exactly what Watson and Cricket would have done. You've earned it. You know, we do a lot of good here, but this, when my soteria goes wide, anyone will be able to grow a home for literal pennies. Millions of people will have viable shelter because of you and the idiot. You have a revolutionary mind. It's like, okie dokie, getting a little bit of hit on there. Thanks for all the support, Astrid. I couldn't have done it without you. Heh, yeah. Remember that on the patent application? Kidding. Mostly as a colleague, I'm thrilled for you. The names Brian Nearing and Peter Parker will be remembered for changing the world. Of course, that pisses off Ben. It's just like, yeah, but you're kind of the one, like, taking over his life, so... Alright. So we switch to Central Park. Considering your proximity to an attempt on my life, I'm surprised that you accepted my invitation. Lightning doesn't usually strike twice. Besides, what sane person would pass on an opportunity to watch Norman Osborn squirm his way through an apology? Most of them, I imagine, are not generally regarded as pleasant. Note the aforementioned assassination attempt. Actually, even positively charming. Complete vibe kill. Sorry to disappoint. You can make it up to me. Here we go. If this is about poaching Peter Parker, I heard you loud and clear. No, it's not that. You and I, the Venn diagrams of our lives overlap in a unique way. I was going to tell Parker, but I need this separate. Then you said something right before the attack. No one knows. No one knows, and I'm losing my mind. It's like, okay, let's see what's kind of going on here with you. How did you go on after losing a child? Myra, the boss can't show vulnerability, you know, even at a woo-woo place like Rand. And as a woman of color, the knives are already out. And I've literally just handed one to Norman fucking Osborn. Myra, there are no knives here. And I kind of like how the paneling is kind of like all over the place here. It's not completely all over the place, but I like the stacking effect, as it kind of shifts different perspectives. We've seen all the specialists, all the treatments. I can afford the best, and I've spent the money. He's not going to get better. There's a scream inside of me all the time. I don't know what will happen when it comes out. And I'm sorry. Fuck the world for, like, our kid's fucking dying. Shit, man. You can get it. No, it's not. Of course it is. You run a billion-dollar company. Go on. Police scanner. I run an algorithm searching for keywords. The shocker is back. Myra, thank you for trusting me. Can we please continue this conversation later? Name the time and place. I want to help if I can. All right. Thank you, Norman. How many times? How many times did you make this choice, Peter? Help one or many? Support a friend or stop a crime? How did you survive letting Spider-Man ruin your life over and over again? I fight back anger that I must leave someone in pain to face a fool in a costume, repeating my favorite mantra. Exactly. Except Norman gets pissed at the thing. It's like, yep. What would Peter do? You're not the shocker. Glad you noticed. Is this how it is now? I have to press a favor at police dispatch and engineer a hoax to get a face-to-face. The old way was simpler. He'd let it go and focus on the now. If Parker grew himself a spine and you're throwing guys through my window, I call that a communications breakdown. Shocker's fine, by the way. Says hi and go fuck yourself. Find a way to connect. What do you want? Me? I want to know if you're alright. It's like, shit. Tombstone is not fucking around here. I've always thought of myself as a surrogate father to the boy, Ricardo. Good luck with that, Jameson. Ooh, good statement. No loose pages, baby. An emotionally manipulative, borderline abusive father figure? I can see that. Should I leave? She's called me much worse. We've all changed, May. Peter and I are close now. We talk about life, in a way he might not share with his aunt. He's not, but now he's off the grid, acting erratic. He's in trouble, and it's time to intervene. I've done interventions. They can work, but you need everyone. I've already reached out to Robertson's kid. May knows his older friends, Watson, Thompson. If you want a neutral location, you can use my place. Gentlemen, if you're open to co-parenting a grown man, I can get you a set of adoption papers. They'll prefer you to be married, but I leave that to you. Come on, May, we need to fix this. If by this you mean Peter, he isn't broken, he's suffering. And I kind of really like this. Yes, J is trying to do something to help out, but May's like, I got this. I don't know how or why, just that he is. Because when Peter suffers, he pushes people away. He's done this since he was a child. It took on a new shape when Ben died. Peter keeps his secrets to protect me. If you're as close as you think you are, Jonah, maybe he's protecting you too. I like it, but Jay's head, Jonah's head looks really big there. I didn't notice that until now. Both of you think I'm being naive or weak, but I'm not. a doormat. I'm not a fool. I am a mother. Sometimes that means suffering with my child at a distance until he's ready to share his burden. I'll intervene then with unconditional love, followed by a swift kick in the ass. Then probably wheat cakes, made with more unconditional love. Now, my position has been made clear. Why don't you mansplain to me what you know about real estate? It's like, God damn, man. Hit it. Alright, now we're back with Tombstone. Ever since that freak in the gladiator costume whooped your ass, you've been different. Putting my men in the hospital, scaring the shit out of people in the life and out of it. Peter has made me aware of many of his dealings with characters like Tombstone, but this, I think he genuinely cares. Which is different. It's like, okay, he's actually trying to figure out what's going on here. Of course it's bad for business, but it's really bad for the neighborhood. Yet, being lectured by a mobster like Tombstone makes it difficult to channel Peter's trademark mercy. The neighborhood only gets better with less people are victimized and commoditized by cheap thugs. See, that's what I mean. We've always been at odds, but you had an appreciation for how things work. Never us versus them, even when it's me versus you. It's just, I'm just talking to you and you want to hit me. I can feel it. What did that big bastard do to you? Of course, then we see him thinking of his father hitting him. He reminded me that mercy is reserved for those who've earned it. Oh, damn. You ain't Spider-Man. Thank fucking God. Give him the medicine. About time. What are you supposed to be? Commedia dell'idiot? Nah, more Mask of the Red Death. And then he's able to kind of like stop the punch by grabbing it, but that doesn't work. This is definitely an interesting kind of villain, so we'll have to see how this kind of works out. As we see, he gets injured, it's like, holy shit, rah! For an instant, the world goes white, then there's only pain. Only the sound of things breaking inside of me. Only blood. So much better. Like a week at the spa, maybe a month. Plague RX is like a bank, but for pain. He just made a transfer to your account. That is a very interesting superpower there. If you can concentrate on what's happening to your body, some of it may seem familiar. Everything you did to the Shocker and his men, PRX absorbed those injuries, held them, and now they're back with you. Don't ask me how, I ain't the scientist. I'm just a cheap thug, apparently so are you. What would Peter do? I'm not Peter. And that's where he starts kind of like changing himself up. He freaking blocks it, and it somehow hurts Tombstone too. How? The code, the dream, the idea. Gone like mist before the sunrise. I want to win. And then he just fucking cracks into Tombstone. I want him to hurt. And I'm like, come on, Norman. I want him to. You think I'm afraid of pain? My world is pain. Yeah, you ain't him. Help him, please. Somewhere in a place I dare not look, something is laughing at me. And that's not good. As he's like, he looks really fucked up. And then as he's flying away, it's kind of interesting because the blood globule there kind of looks like a little goblin hat kind of thing. So it's like, okay. A familiar voice hisses from the blackness. And, of course, then we see Ben detailing with what's kind of going on here. You fool. Plain dress up. Genetic bioengineering, Brian Nearing. Mechanical engineering, Peter Parker. Aspiring to grace you don't ever deserve. Give up. Give in. For the first time, I realize how tired I am. Trying to be him, and I wonder, what would Peter do? To be continued, as we see Ben. And then we get something interesting here. I don't know if this is in any other people's kind of comics. We get the Spider's Web fan page, which is awesome. And then I get spiders and symbiotes, but it doesn't look like it's really kind of weird because then the Gamma corner is gone and replaced by a copy of the second page from the fan letters. It's like, that's fucking weird. So I'm like, alright, here's this thing going on here. And then on sale in December, issue 17. So, I liked seeing what was going on here. The introduction of Plague RX and how he can bang shit and fucking did that. That was nuts to see that happen to Norman. I'm interested to see if, like, that Dr. O.M. will have a relationship with Norman. It doesn't have to be romantic, but anything that, like, them kind of bonding over the death of a child, even though her child is still alive at the moment, there's nothing that's really kind of happening. And I did like him being like, how pissed off he was that he had to go deal with a stupid villain, which wasn't the same villain that he had to kind of actually really deal with as instead of Shocker, but Tombstone. And Ben just being kind of like pissed off having to still kind of be in the shadow of Peter while Brian actually figured out his stuff and fixed his shit. I did like May giving Jonah and Ricardo the what for on that and be like, screw this. So we'll see what kind of goes on. I liked seeing this kind of setup. It is getting to a point that they will not immediately, but I like what they've been doing with this, and we'll see how this kind of concludes. There's a lot of different kind of stuff. I like the focus on Norman and on Ben and seeing what's kind of going on, and then of course checking in on May and her kind of views on what's kind of going on with Peter. And then, of course, the weirdness of what kind of went on with the whole kind of fan letters page and getting the kind of duplicate thing there. So, those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.